Now let's move on to the longest category in this review, the characters. Let's start off with Thomas. I really like how Thomas is portrayed in this special. I mean, well, obviously this is obviously the Thomas from The Adventure Begins. In fact, the special borrows some elements from The Adventure Begins, like Thomas having to shunt Gordon, his own coaches, and his fire went out and there wasn't enough steam, and Thomas working on his branch line and things like that. I can understand why this is, because the Lost Treasure came after The Adventure Begins. But this is supposed to be set after season... Actually, I just heard about this. It's not taking place after season 18. It's taking place after season 19, for some reason. It hasn't even aired on Milkshake yet. Why are we seeing the future? Why is there a special that's set into the near future? So that means we're not going to see Daisy, Donald, Douglas, Alfie, Oliver, and so on in season 19. Fucking load. Anyway, Thomas. I did feel kinda sorry for him every time he thought he did something right, but the Fat Controller said that he'd done something wrong. And I do feel bad for him. And I can understand him wanting to be really useful again, trying to please the Fat Controller again, be the Fat Controller's #1 engine again. I would understand why he would want to work with Sailor John to find the treasure, because he didn't know that he wanted to steal the treasure for himself instead of giving it back to the museum or something. And I really liked the chase scene at the end, where he tries to stop Sailor John from getting away with the treasure. Oh, and in that chase scene, I like the fact that it borrowed something from the opening. Like, when Thomas was racing with Annie and Clarabelle and the signalman switched the points to get from Toby. I like the fact that that was later reused again, later in the special. Like, when he's trying to catch Sailor John and the signalman switched the points to... because of Gordon and the Express. I like that it was borrowing some elements earlier in the episode. So Thomas was just trying to do what was right. Him trying to stop Sailor John from getting away with the treasure. So Thomas was really good. I liked him in this special. Now, let's move on to Marion. It's great to see Marion again. I like seeing the show's comic relief back. In this special, instead of thinking that dinosaurs are real, she now thinks that magical little engines that grant wishes are real. Obviously, she hasn't met the genie. I like her little mishap in this special, thinking that the Arlesdale engines are little magic engines, and that they grant wishes. And I really like the misunderstanding that she thought that Oliver the Great Western Engine had turned into Oliver the Excavator. Just because they both have the same name. Yeah, before this special I found that a little bit confusing. Why give the Excavator the same name as the Great Western Engine? Little did I know that it was going to make for a really humorous side joke in a later special. I'm surprised nobody ever acknowledges that. And I liked her reaction at the end, seeing both Olivers side by side. There can't be two Olivers! That got a bit of a laugh out of me. Now onto the Arlesdale engines, Mike, Rex and Bert. When I first heard that these three were going to be introduced to the TV series for the very first time, I literally squeed myself. I literally squeed that the rumors were true. I also squeed at the fact that Donald, Douglas, Alfie, Oliver and that were returning as well. But mostly for the Arlesdale engines. They were finally bringing back some more Railway Series characters into the TV series. And let's hope that in season 20 we might actually see some more reenactments of classic Railway Series books, like Mike's Whistle and everything. And that they hopefully introduce Jock and Frank. Anyway, Mike, Rex and Bert in The Lost Treasure. They brought out a really good message that no matter how big or small, you can still be really useful. And I really like the song that they sing that delivers the message.
Never overlook a little engine. Little ones are really useful too. We got trucks to pull, so make 'em extra full. I've never known a job that I couldn't do. With a bit of help from me, maybe. Never overlook a little engine. We can take you where you wanna go. We may have tiny track, but we'll get you there and back. And hold on to your hats, we don't go slow. Look out, Thomas!
I really like that song. It had, after listening to it a few times, it had me singing it. And I like that it was the first song possibly in the entire series where the engines sing the song instead of some singer in the background. Yeah, Tim Whitnell, Keith Wickham and Tom Stroughton, is it? Singing the song instead of the usual singer, like the one who sings "We Make a Team Together." So yeah, I like the introduction of the Arlesdale engines in this special, Mike, Rex and Bert. They were really enjoyable. I like their voices, I like their whistles, I like their designs. They were great. And now... No wait, let's start with Ryan first. I kinda like Ryan. Ryan was really enjoyable. I like the voice actor, Eddie... what's his name? I can't remember his surname. He did a really good voice for Ryan. Though I think there were a few points where I might have thought, do you think they should have done another take?
I will, sir! Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Or was he willing to get out of the studio as soon as possible? Because he was on a paycheck or something? Your rhyme was really enjoyable, and Eddie voiced him pretty well. I didn't find him completely pointless in this special. He played a pretty good role in the movie,